According to scientific research, the Earth was formed about 4.54 billion years ago. The first primates appeared on Earth about 27 million years ago. The first hominids appeared between 14 and 7 million years ago. Australopithecus appeared on Earth about 4.2 million years ago. The first humans evolved from Australopithecus about 2.5 million years ago. About 400,000 years ago, the Neanderthal appeared on Earth. Homo sapiens appeared about 119,000 years ago, evolving from Homo erectus. The proper rational man Homo sapiens sapiens appeared about 40,000 years ago, and so far it is the last stage of human evolution. In turn, human civilization is said to be about 6,000 years old. During these 6,000 years, human civilization has done extraordinary things. We genetically modify our own bodies, we reach the moon, we explore the depths of the oceans. It is worth asking, however, whether there could have been another advanced civilization before humans on Earth. If so, is there any evidence to support this theory? Between the appearance of the first living organism on Earth and the appearance of the first primates, there is a period of about 350 million years. It is an extremely long period of time during which a lot could happen on Earth, including the existence of advanced, intelligent civilization. Christians, conspiracy theorists, alien seekers and evolutionists all believe in the existence of pre-human civilizations on Earth. The Bible says that the Earth is about 6,000 years old, but there is ample scientific evidence that human civilization is much older. The Bible does not specifically say that Adam and Eve were the first humans in the world. In the book of Genesis, we read that the Earth was originally a wasteland and disorder, as if it had experienced some catastrophe. The Earth was then covered with water, and scientists are now finding evidence of entire civilizations deep beneath the surface of the water. It is worth bearing in mind that the Bible has been rewritten many times. The version in use today was created around 16th century, and the Catholic Church changed its content many times. Perhaps in the process of rewriting it, something was left out, wrongly translated. Traditionally, science and religion have been held to oppose each other. However, the scientific evidence found in recent years seems to somewhat blur these differences. Ancient cities that are completely underwater are discovered all over the world. These are, for example, Port Royal in Jamaica, Lion City at Lake Qingdao in China, Fairy Tales in Italy, Cleopatra's Palace in Alexandria in Egypt, Heraklion in Egypt, Underwater City in Cuba, Dvarka in India, or Yonaguni monuments in Japan. Many of these cities have a complex structure that, according to scientists, does not match the knowledge of the people of that time. Carbon dating and other scientific methods show that the calculation errors do not reach tens of years, but hundreds of millions of years. Some scientists claim that they have found evidence of the existence of representatives of these civilizations. Particularly interesting is the frozen civilization found in Antarctica. The skeletons of this civilization look human, except for the elongated skulls. Scientists claim that they are representatives of an ancient civilization that once lived on Earth. Conspiracy theorists suggest that it was an alien race that came to Earth from its dying planet, founded a civilization here, modified Earth's primitive inhabitants, and thus came about human civilization. Gavin Schmidt, climatologist and director of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, says that underwater cities are actually remnants of ancient civilizations that once existed on Earth. However, we should also look back many millions of years. When it comes to direct evidence of the existence of an advanced industrial civilization in the past, such as cities, factories, and roads, it must be borne in mind that the oldest geological data date back 1.8 million years. It is the oldest area of ancient surface in Israel's Negev desert. Older surfaces are only visible in the cross-section of bluffs and rock faults. So, all evidence older than the Quaternary period is crushed and buried deep underground. Going back so far in the past, one can no longer speak of human civilization, but the civilization of other species. Gavin Schmidt calls this theory the Silurian Hypothesis, named after Doctor Who in one episode encountered a race of intelligent lizards with that name. The search for ancient civilizations that could once have developed on Earth is not easy. First of all, it should be borne in mind that fossils are created under strictly definite conditions. Once upon a time, millions of individuals of a given species may have lived on Earth, and none of the fossils may have survived to this day. So, could scientists find evidence of an ancient species that built an industrial civilization long before our own? Consider such an example. Early mammals developed fairly quickly and began with civilization in the Paleogene era, about 60 million years ago. Today, they are fossils, but a fraction of the life they lived at that time is significantly different from other fossils from this period. So, it will be very easy to miss this civilization, despite the fact that it would exist, for example, for 100,000 years, while ours exist over 15 times shorter. Such evidence could therefore easily be overlooked. In order to find others, one should consider what evidence our civilization would leave if it collapsed at the present level of development. The current global industrial civilization leaves traces that will be detected by scientists even 100 million years from now. The fertilizers used today should be discovered by scientists studying the characteristics of nitrogen appearing in sediment from our era. The same is the case with rare minerals used in electronic gadgets. The number of atoms of these elements on the Earth's surface is now much greater than in other periods of Earth history, so it will certainly be noticed in geological layers in 10 or 100 million years. By burning fossil fuels, carbon from living tissues is released into the atmosphere. The more we burn these fuels, the more the carbon isotope balance in the atmosphere changes. This is known as the Suess effect, and it is very easy to see by examining the atmosphere. So, if it is very easy to spot these changes in the future, the same signals may also come from the past. 56 million years ago, the Earth experienced a Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum lasting approximately 200,000 years. The average temperature on Earth was then 5 to 8 degrees Fahrenheit higher than it is today. It was a world in which there was practically no winter. The typical temperature at the poles was then 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Analyzing the level of isotopes from that period, scientists found that the levels of carbon and oxygen were at the same level then as today. In the history of our planet, there are also other periods characterized by a similar signature. For example, the Eocene layers of unknown origin about 53.7 million years ago, or the Cretaceous extinction from 66 million years ago, which led to a situation in which there was no air in the oceans for many millennia. So, are all these events related to the existence of an advanced industrial civilization on Earth? Certainly not, but it may be a trail to follow. One more conclusion can be drawn from the Silurian Hypothesis. If civilization use fossil fuels, it leads to climate change, which in turn can lead to a decrease in the level of oxygen in the oceans, the so-called ocean anoxia. This creates the conditions necessary for the production of fossil fuels, such as oil and coal. In this way, civilization and its collapse may sow the seeds for the future civilizations. This would be the so-called fossil fuel-based civilization cycle. Everyone has a different opinion on this. The truth is, however, that we find many strange things on Earth that we cannot explain with our present level of knowledge. knowledge of history, technology, and culture. Maybe these things are remnants of an ancient, advanced civilizations. As always, I encourage you to open your mind to the extraordinary phenomena that surrounded us and to constantly seek for the truth.